So you may know that we are going to Scandinavia very soon, like very, very, very soon. And obviously we need to pack something in something.
That is the best intro ever. So essentially we need to decide, are we going to pack it in a suitcase or are we going to pack it in a backpack?
We are going to have to fly back to the UK at the end, and we don't want to pay luggage, especially not on Ryanair. Yeah.
So essentially we're going to pack a lot of food in order to get there, but we're not flying there. But on the way back we need enough space so that we can take the remaining stuff that we have with us. But especially with Ryanair, we don't want our luggage to be either broken, or we do want to get it on the plane as well,
so,
as carry-on.
Today we're going to be comparing a small carry-on backpack rucksack thingy
versus a small carry-on suitcase thingy. Yeah!
So both backpacks and suitcases have their own advantages and disadvantages when, you know, using them as carry-on on planes. I personally have never used an actual wheelie suitcase to take into the plane, you know, only kind of in the hold.
Bearing in mind,
I do know people who have.
Yeah. Bearing in mind though, we really have only travelled on budget airlines, and there is a reason we'll get into later as to why we have majority stuck with backpacks.
So I guess our favourite thing about rucksacks, I think for me, is that the fact that I can carry it on my back and I can be agile and just grab it and, you know, just get it on my back.
That's not how you wear it.
Okay, no, exactly, that is not how you wear a suitcase. You know,
a backpack, whatever.
Just chuck it on, you can use it easily to, you know, self-defense if somebody's mugging you or something.
I think I could use this as self-defense.
Okay, but this is light right now. But the thing about suitcases is that when they're full, they're basically like a giant brick that you cannot lift. Okay, this is a family-friendly chit-chat channel. No violence. Put it down. Put it down.
So essentially, what we're saying is that rucksacks. Now get the suitcase back on your head.
Is that how it was the other way? Like this? Which way was it? Which way did you eat me?
I don't know. Let's just keep it like that. There'll be no continuity errors at all. Just because our battery ran out does not mean we can't keep continuity in check. So just keep that there. What was I doing? I was showing the suitcase. No, the rucksack like this.
You were just saying about the awkwardness of suitcase.
Okay, so you ready? We're going to go from the top. 3, 2, 1. Rucksacks are not awkward. Those things are. What we mean by not awkward is essentially, you know, you get off, say, the underground or something, then you have to wheel this around up and down the steps and extend this, and then not extend it as you're carrying it up the stairs. It gets a bit of a pain. Plus, when you actually get to your hotel room...
Also, no, actually, I have a better one for actually commuting with a suitcase. You get bruises. If you cannot control this thing, it just keeps hitting you in the shins.
Ow, 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 ow.
Or you're probably hitting somebody else.
And actually, when you get to your hotel room, usually with suitcases, what happens is one of two things. Either you live out of the suitcase, so you just have it open here, you have it open and your clothes are inside, or whatever else you take, and you just kind of take out of it and put it back in.
Which is actually nice. It's a good advantage of
definitely.
Yeah,
because
you can arrange your things and categorize them a bit better. Yeah, whilst with a rucksack,
it's top packing, so you have to pack everything from the top down. They don't open all the way like this.
Yeah. So you have to go with, you know, with the
what are you going to use the most?
Smart packing, you know, rolling them or having, you know, those similar to or the same like packing cubes or waterproof sacks, you know, if you know what you can imagine it, you know, and then you basically have like cylinders in here.
And the most annoying thing is when your charger is at the very bottom of your bag and you have everything else on top.
And then pack it back in. We actually gotten pretty good at doing that whole thing. I mean, living for 14 months?
14 months.
14 months out of a rucksack tends to help with that. Yeah. But nonetheless, it is still nice to be able to just get things when you need them without having to unpack your whole life.
But in hotels or like, you know, you've got your place to stay for the night, you either unpack everything out of your suitcase and put it all into the drawers, which if you're only there for one night, you're not going to do. But if you're there for a few nights or a week or 2 weeks or a month or however long, then...
I always found that weird.
Yeah, it is someone else's place.
It's somebody else's cupboard.
This is your suitcase. You can put it in your place. But anyway, after you've unpacked this, let's say you do unpack it, you're not going to take this around the city with you. Meanwhile, with this... Once it's unpacked, you can just use it as a day sack. Take out water, a jacket, a map,
which means that it saves you carrying a secondary bag with you.
Just to have as a day pack in the first place. Unless, of course, you got one of those hybrid suitcase backpack, weird little things that has wheels and a little handle that you can also put on your back. But then why would you be watching this video if you have one of those?
You're welcome. No prejudice against really smart, cool bags. I wouldn't mind one, you know, if anybody wants to send me one, just, you know. I've always eyed them. I always kind of, you know, was like, oh, how comfortable would this be? How?
Yeah, that's the thing. I never get how comfy, because suitcases are meant to be quite rigid, quite solid, quite, you know, they're a cube and this is the shape that they are. Meanwhile, rucksacks you can squash. So yeah, rucksacks you can squash, suitcases you can't. So when you try and make a rucksack into a suitcase or vice versa, like, how does that work?
Well, no. Usually you get probably a soft suitcase.
Yeah.
You know, it will not be a wheelie one. Or actually, you can get a wheelie one, but then you wouldn't have really the rigid back. You only have the handle, the pull-out handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a suitcase has to have wheels. If you're not going to have a suitcase with wheels, what's the point of having a suitcase? That's my opinion.
Okay. Deal with it.
I mean, we would only really take a suitcase, I think, as if we were taking something that's very, very heavy, of which you can't really take on and carry on anyway, because they have a weight limit. Or if you were taking something that's rather delicate.
Yeah, or fragile or something.
That you don't like, because, you know, with rucksacks, you know, if you hit someone in the back as you're turning around, or, you know, you take it off your back and you drop it on the floor, or, I don't know, whatever else you do with it.
I think.
Aside from that, what also happens is all the stuff gets knocked around inside, whilst in the suitcase, it's like there's a rigid frame. If you get a rigid one, there's a rigid frame, so like the stuff's not going to be thrown around and there's straps. Although, there are laptop holders in these sort of bags.
Yeah, it really depends on what kind of rucksack you're going for, because we personally always have one that we can carry our laptops in, and the back is reinforced, there's padding. I mean, obviously there's better laptop bags than this, but this is a very, very good hybrid. Which, if you wish to have a video depicting this beautiful Osprey bag, I will be but I will be more than glad to review it, because it is lovely.
Boop. And I think the final nail in the coffin as to why we're not going to be taking a suitcase as opposed to a rucksack is because, as we've seen from our fair number of budget...
Exactly.
is because of our countless experience with budget airlines, especially one in particular, Ryanair, about putting your, you know, the luggage that you take with you on the plane in the hold for free.
Yeah, sure, it's a good way to get your luggage in the hold for free if that's your aim. However, most of us actually take carry-on because we actually need the stuff on the plane, you know, or don't want to put our laptops or our expensive cameras or whatever else we have
in the hold. Have you seen the hold? There's no straps. They just chuck it in, and then the plane goes.
It doesn't matter if it says fragile. If you ever work in the mail service, which he has for a short time,
don't put fragile. It doesn't do anything. Nothing at all. We play basketball.
You might as well put make sure you break me on the label.
So yeah, I think going through this video, we've kind of made up our mind that we're going to go
again
with a rucksack and not a suitcase. There are times for suitcases, but especially flying, especially Ryanair, and especially because we actually want to put stuff on the plane with us, I think we're going to go with a rucksack. They're just more versatile as well.
Yeah, and the thing about getting a rucksack in the plane instead of a suitcase is that if they see something as sturdy and as non-flexible as a suitcase, then you'll definitely have to put that at the top.
Yeah, they do pick out, like, as they're going through the line, if you've got one of these on, like, on one shoulder, kind of just chilling there with a book or your phone, they're like, oh, okay, that suitcase is light enough, it's small, they're not going to bother you. If you're wheeling two of these around, you know, by you, they're by your feet, or you've got one of those big rucksacks, you know, the ones that go around your waist and over both shoulders, like proper straps and stuff. Those are the ones, suitcases and those giant rucksacks, those are the ones they target.
This one, even if you fill it with your stuff and it can seem bulky, one, it has straps so you can squish it in, okay? And second, like you said, you can carry it on one shoulder, and even if it's absolutely killing your shoulder, if you want that bag on the plane with you, you will
hold it on one shoulder.
Oh, and even just hold it in your hand, low down. So it's just,
hide it from them.
It's non-descriptive. It doesn't make an impression on them. It's fine. They can just glance over it.
By the way, has this happened to anyone else, or is it just us that are being paranoid about our bags being taken away and like these sort of techniques in order to keep your bag on you? Please let us know. I doubt we're the only ones. We can't be the only ones.
We're not the only ones. Well, it is the people on our flights who definitely lost their bags.
Yeah.
So we're not the only ones. But are any of you in those, you know, people who have, you know, suffered
their bags?
So if you enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up because it makes us feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And subscribe to this channel if you would like to see more of us. And we are going to Scandinavia really soon. So make sure to tune in for that. We do have a few other videos that kind of, you know, ask you directly what we should do in Scandinavia and how we should do things like with camping and so forth and so forth. So if you know about that,
or
then go watch these videos.
Anything like that, please go watch them. Please let us know where we should go, what we should see, how we should act, everything.
Exactly. So go check them out and answer in the comments there. Okay.
See you there.